so hard to melt. I fell right through the cracks. Now I'm trying to get back.
Right. I'm going to put together a few videos for learning to play the ukulele for beginners, right? So hopefully this goes at a decent pace for you. So if you've already kind of started some stuff, or if you're brand new, want to jump into it, this might help you out in some areas, right? But I'm going to assume it's the first time you picked one of these things up, right? So the first thing we'll share is that you might notice this might be a little bit bigger than yours. This is a tenor size. The smallest is probably the most popular, at least with beginners, I think, is the soprano. So that's a smaller size instrument. And then a step up is a concert size. And then the step up from that is a tenor size. And then there's a baritone size. The first three, including this tenor, are all tuned the same. So all of their strings have the same names, right? And the chord patterns are going to be the same. So once you learn a soprano, you later on want to jump to a tenor to get a little beefier, fuller sound, you'll know how to play it, right? You learn one, you learn them all. Again, except baritone. It's got its own thing going on. So where to start? Let's start with how to tune these things, right? Because if they're not in tune, it's not going to sound good. So here we go. I'm going to talk about strings. The top string, bottom string, right? 4 strings, top, bottom. All right, so in order, you get one of these handy tuners. They're, $20 or whatever. It doesn't have to look like this. There's all sorts of different kinds. They just clip on there and they pick up the vibrations of the strings. See, I played that that G string at the top, and it turned green to tell me it's in tune, right? So as I go down, so I'm gonna start with the top, G, I'm gonna try to rotate this so you can see it, C, E, A, right? So if I took my A string and I see how it's out of tune there, it still says A, but if I keep going, it's going to go down to even another letter, right? It's going to go down. Oh, you really got to get out of whack, right? G. So you're going to keep tweaking this thing till it's, oop, green. She's in tune, right? Okay. So that's tuning it. Here's what it sounds like when it's in tune. All right. I'm going to talk about our fretting hand, right? That's your left hand for most people, which you got a left-handed uke, which we're not going to go there because they're strung different. Even if you're left-handed, I don't know what the science and studies are, but I think a lot of left-handed people still play right-handed guitar, but maybe I'm wrong. Or fretted instrument, ukulele. So, these frets, right? So when you fret, when you put your hand on a position of a string, you want to use your fingertips. The fingertips, the string hits right there, not here, right there, right? You see what I'm saying? So here's what a lot of people do. It's a mistake because it's easier because you want to push hard there, right? And it doesn't hurt as bad as putting your finger on the end of that string as you kind of get it flat. And that sounds good until you start playing more complicated chords and you're still flat. No, that don't work, right? So you got to use your tips. So even though that sounds good starting off, use your tip. So here's a G chord. This is the most complicated chord you probably will learn to play on this thing. And I'll go into this in more detail later, but here's with my positions. If my fingertips aren't on there, see how flat? This is tips, this is flat. That don't sound good. If you're getting this, that means you got a finger that's touching the other string and it's muting it, right? So it means I need to get that away from that string and then put it right on the tip. And as soon as you got this one right, you might have accidentally moved that one. Now I got to get that one back, right? So tips on everything. You get a nice clean sound, right? Not clean. So that's the biggest tip I can give folks is to use your fingertips and not get kind of lazy there. So what I'm doing behind the scenes here, a lot of times people want to kind of put their hand around there. Use your thumb like that to push and your fingertips, right? So I got a little bit of a gap, right, between there. That's a good position to put this. You can't see how I've got this sitting, but I've got this on my hip just for me, but you can do it like that, whatever works for you, right? So before we end this video, let's do a couple tunes to kind of get you motivated, right? These two tunes share about 80% of the same chords, so when you learn these chords, you'll be able to start kicking butt, right? Here's another one, similar chords. Oops. I don't know the words, nor can I sing that high. But Jason Mraz, I'm yours, right? So anyway, hope you enjoy this. We're going to talk about strumming later. We're going to talk about some exercises to get your fingers going. That's probably where I should have started. Because once you get your fingering right, then comes the chords, then comes the songs. It's that easy, right? So next video, we'll talk about some fingering exercises that'll help you pick up changing chords quicker and all that kind of like I was doing. All right, man. Thanks.